Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Second Take, CEN Second Take Sports Talk with Ronnie Roberts. I'm the moderator, Roski Mascani, and we have on with us one of our T9 crews. We got Coach Tito Ortiz that's joining us this evening. And I want to say that Ronnie has been knocking it out of the park with the analysis so far. This is our third episode, and he's not far off the mark at what he's talking about. And so, Brother Ronnie, we're going to turn it over to you, and let's get busy with what we're going to talk about tonight.
Well, hello, everybody. I guess it's the third show that we've done on the Second Take. And we've been primarily talking about the NBA playoffs. I would like to start the day off by, of course, acknowledging our fellow teaching colleague, Tito Ortiz, assistant basketball coach at Cerritos Junior College for, 20 plus years now?
26 years, man.
26 years, right. That's the year before I met him. The three of us got together in 2001. Working for Reed High School under the leadership of Todd Urban, another good friend of ours. And here we are 24 years later, still kicking it from my mutual experiences with what they call transitional ninth grade students. Very, very challenging environment to teach and work in, but we made the best of it and got through it and did what we needed to do to be here today to talk to you. Welcome, everybody, again. I want to start off today by, we've been talking primarily about NBA playoffs, and that's still going to be our focus, but I want to acknowledge the stepping down of one of the greatest coaches ever, if not the greatest coach ever, Greg Popovich. As many of you know who are NBA basketball fans, Pop had a stroke last fall and turned the reins over to one of his assistants, Mitch Johnson, who today has been appointed as the head coach on a permanent basis. So that was a notable news in the NBA. I heard through the grapevine from some other people that a strong candidate to replace him also was Becky Hammon, past coach of Las Vegas Aces. We will have a women's coach, a female coach in the NBA one day in the future, just as we have men coaches in the WNBA. Shout out to Pop. He's still going to be in the front office. He's also an Olympic winning coach, and his coaching tree is just as long as the day. Guys that have come under him, i.e. Steve Kerr, Mike Brown, so many others. The general manager of the Thunder, Sam Presti, ex-San Antonio guy, and it just goes on and on throughout the league. Some guys that he touched. Another guy that was strongly in consideration for the job was Sam Cassell, but another guy fell under Pop's influence. But the beauty of San Antonio is a small market city like Oklahoma City. And he made it relevant and he made it national with his coaching acumen. One of his most controversial moves was when he already had David Robinson, one of the premier centers in the game in the Hall of Fame himself, and he selected Tim Duncan in the first round of the draft after David had been there for a year, maybe two. Make a long story short, he had back-to-back Rookies of the Year, and a lot of people had thought that the double bigs would not work. Sampson did that in Houston with another big guy, Ralph Sampson. I can't recall the guy's name. But a lot of people didn't think it would work because they said it's essentially two centers or two fives. The positions were more notable back in the day because 5 was a center, 4 was a power forward, 3 was a small forward, 2 shooting guard, 1 point. Well, those definitions have been blurred by the evolution of the game, the fact that the bigs now, it's necessary for them to be able to have handles. As I said in one of the earlier podcasts, we got Hall of Famers with no left hand. You couldn't play in the league today without a left hand. effectively at least. You couldn't get to star level. So the positions have been blurred, but the thing with Duncan is a Hall of Fame, and everybody considers him to be a 4, but he was a 5 as well. He could comfortably play both positions, as could say guys like Kevin Garnett and Giannis for that matter. But Tim Duncan he didn't lose anything at either position. That was the thing with him. KG was really not a center, but KG came in at the time, at the end of the period where guys were transitioning, where big guys were shooting threes and doing things of that nature, because Chris Webber in his later days came back and played for the Detroit championship team after they won the championship. So it was very effective playing in the post position in a more modern era where the game is more fluid and people are running all over the place. But again, a shout out to Pop. The big probably news right now as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned, 2 dynamite games last night involving Los Angeles teams. Number one team is the Clippers the Clippers beat the Nuggets last night with just a dominant performance by 3 California guys. James Harden, who Tito and I saw play in high school when he was with Artesia, Kawhi Leonard, and Norman Powell, protege, and went to high school with one of my good friends, Mel Collins, at San Diego. What's that high school that Marcus Allen went to? At any rate.
Lincoln.
San Diego, Lincoln and San Diego. But they, and the key is tomorrow, they will play Sunday, of course, to determine who plays the Thunder, the winner of that game. Big game. It's at Denver. Denver should win. Home court, who knows? I'm not certain home court is as needed as it used to be, and good teams, championship teams, will beat you at their place. The champions of the past, forever, really, but particularly in this modern era, all of the league champions are known for winning games on the road. If you can't win on the road, you cannot really realistically expect to be the NBA champion in the modern era, and even in the old era, you had to win on the road. And a lot of people say that the NBA series doesn't really start until somebody wins on the road. Nevertheless, that's a big game tomorrow. I would probably, on the surface, favor Denver simply because they're at home, simply because James Harden, who has been just tremendous this year, and I noted that at the last podcast, can disappear in big games. If James Harden shows up tomorrow night, Kawhi is going to show up. Norman Powell has finally made the adjustment to getting less touches because of Kawhi being back. They have a really good chance to beat Denver. I just still haven't seen Denver play a complete game, even though they have the best player in the game. And as I said earlier, Jamal Murray has just been absolutely tremendous throughout his whole entire playoff career. If he played like he does in the playoffs during the regular season, he would have been in the last 3 or 4 All-Star games for sure. But he's certainly an All-Star level talent, another great, great Kentucky guard, and the league is full of great Kentucky players, just full of them. We saw one on display last night, Julius Randle. I mean, they're just everywhere you go, you see great Kentucky players. But I would say that game's a toss-up, but I would probably give the edge to Denver at home and on the road, and knowing the Clippers seem to be almost jinxed. They had really good teams, ran into the Warriors. They had really good teams, ran into the Lakers. It's just sometimes, as J.J. Redick finally admitted yesterday, we really lost to a better team. And he's so right on point with that. I mean, that was realistically, when I made my analysis during the last time when I talked about the Lakers at length, being a big Laker fan, I just had to put the fandom aside and look at it on paper. And I didn't see any way they could beat them on paper unless the Lakers shot the lights out of the ball. Well, a lot of people said AR-15 let them down. AR-15 got defended. The length and the defensive intensity which Minnesota played the Lakers could get them all the way to the finals, could get them right past the Thunder, could get them certainly past a Golden State or Houston. I think that whoever wins that series between Golden State and Houston, I think Golden State will pull it out. They still got a 2-game margin. They won't beat Minnesota, in my mind. Even with the great Steph and the great Jimmy Butler and Draymond, 3 surefire Hall of Famers. I don't think that they're ready for the intensity that Minnesota plays with, their length, their defensive prowess, and they have every night they're going to have the best player on the floor with Ant-Man at the level that he's playing right now. Do I think Ant-Man is a better player than Steph and Jimmy Butler at this point? Not better than Steph, but certainly capable of carrying his team to a victory over them because he has certainly more help. Their lineup with Jaden McDaniels at 6'9", shadowing Luka, and Luka still averaged 30. Their defensive length just gives them an edge up in my mind. Make a long story short, talk a little bit about the Lakers and their demise. We saw that coming to a degree. All of us being LA people, I'm not certain that Rashid, you've ever been a Laker fan, but their home team, everybody was a Laker fan during Showtime, Magic era, and over into the Kobe area. But most people in California, most people in the world, like I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. As you know, I live in Oklahoma City, and I'm a Thunder season ticket holder, and I'm a big Thunder fan. But I would say that 75 to 80% of the Thunder fans, like myself, are ex-Laker fans because we didn't have a team for many, many years. We've just been around since '08. So this is our 17th year as an NBA franchise, and we played a year as the New Orleans when they had the flood. The New Orleans franchise came and played in Oklahoma City because we had the arena and the fan base. So that's what really got us a team. Minnesota is the real deal in my mind. The game tonight, Steph and Houston and those young guys, they got their hands full. Last but not least, the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee, Detroit, and New York last night. I just gave a shout out to Pop. I need to give a shout out to Jalen Brunson. He's just tremendous. Obviously, he was voted the NBA's best clutch player for a reason, because he continuously comes through at the end of games with his handle, with his shot, and they list him at 6'2". He certainly doesn't look to be 6'2" to me. But hell, he's a hell of a basketball player, and in my mind, should warrant serious consideration for first team All-NBA. He was second team last year, so Jason Tatum barely beat him out. But I'm thinking that he might break through this year to be that other guard along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We know that the rest, the All-NBA team hadn't come out yet, and we already know 4 players for sure. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka. No, I'm sorry about Luka. Luka's not even eligible. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis, and Jokic are locks. I'd also say Jason Tatum is a lock. So it's just up to who that 5th player is. I can't think of any other guard that deserves it over Jalen Brunson, even though I think there's maybe a guard or 2 in the league that's better. Is Jalen Brunson better than Steph? That's subjective. At this point of his career, Steph is still Steph, and there's nothing like him. But night to night, the production that Jalen Brunson puts up is going to be equal to Steph's. Night to night. He is the heart and soul of that New York Knicks team. You take him out that team, they're nothing. Heart and soul of that team. Great young team, Detroit, led by Cade Cunningham. They're going to be a force in the future because they, like Houston, like Oklahoma City, they're young. They're very young, but they're very competitive. Just need a key veteran here to settle them down and get them to the next level. The other game was, what was the other game? Last night. There were two games. What was the second game?
That was it. It was 2 games. Cleveland's out. Remember, Cleveland already won.
Oh yeah, Cleveland already won. Didn't somebody else play in the East last night?
I got Boston and Orlando.
That was 2 days ago.
Okay.
That's how valuable that event is.
Boston and Orlando, that was a gentleman's sweep, and I don't understand why Boston didn't beat them 4 in a row. Cleveland took care of business with the Heat, and then that was a slaughter, just a little slaughter. They got to do some serious reckoning in Miami to get back to the playoff level, and I think that the Lakers could be, with the lack of draft capital that they have, the first thing they need is a serviceable big man. Where are they going to come from? They have nothing in the draft. They have nobody to trade. Well, where's that big man going to come from for the Lakers?
So, hey, Brother Ronnie, I think we need to kind of get Tito in. You got to go, Tito?
That's why I answered that question. I want these guys to tell me about the Lakers and their rebuild.
Okay, well, let me first, before you start, let me welcome Brother Kyle and Brother Chris. They just joined us. I know Kyle is a Laker fan.
Yes.
Chris, I think I got to forget who Chris. I don't know if he's a Laker fan or not. Are you, Chris?
He's muted. He's muted. And now he's
on your microphone.
He's looking at us crazy.
You're talking shit too. Look.
You muted.
We can't hear him. There we go. There you go.
I don't even want to answer. What you mean? I've been knowing you since I was in high school. You gonna get up here and get amnesia?
All right, let's get Tito. We're going to get to both of y'all, Kyle and Chris. Thanks for attending.
About the Lakers, I was watching something today, and I think it was Perkins, and I don't like Perkins. He'd be talking shit, don't know what he's talking about. But the one thing that he said was the Lakers need more than just a big.
Absolutely.
And I was like, you know what? You thought about it? They do. And I told Ronnie the thing that upset me about the trade. Luka's good, woo woo woo, but you get rid of a rebounder, a shot blocker, and have nobody in the wings to play that position at all. It was mind-boggling to me how they play this little light-skinned boy, and they don't even play him at all the last game. And they brought this white kid that hasn't played in 48 games. Like, what are the Lakers doing? It's now JJ Redick talking about, we need to be in playoff shape. So you're pretty much calling out Luka is what you're doing. Just call it spade a spade. But as Ronnie says, I don't know where they're going to get a big at all. And what's considered a big now? Because look at the Warriors. They really don't have a big. They just got a dude that's going to be a tough son of a bitch down there, and he's going to bang with those dudes. So I don't know if the Lakers are going to get that. And they need a downhill guy. They need a creator. Luka's not a downhill guy. He's either going to shoot the three or shoot the little mid game. He's not going downhill on people. So they need a lot. And now LeBron's got an MCL sprain. He could be done. So what are they going to do now? And he's talking about not giving up no money. So to answer your question, I don't know where the Lakers are going to find the answer or how they're going to find the answer. I think they are screwed right now. They got caught up with too much money, and they gave up Anthony Davis for a guard. And that's what upsets me the most. On top of Ronnie being on that goddamn bench, but that's a different story.
I got issue with that too.
I don't know. To answer your question, Regan, I don't know if somebody else where they can find an answer, but it's frustrating as a Laker fan.
All right, well, let's go to Brother Kyle.
Okay, I'm in the same position. I don't know. There's nothing out there, and there's no quick fix. You don't there are no bigs. Like earlier I was thinking trying to get Aiden, somebody that even for the Warriors, the one that there Kuminga, who's disgruntled, somebody. But even if the Lakers tried to get him, the Warriors would match whatever they trying to give him. So there are no bigs out there that are all-star level, and then so you just gotta try to run a system that your players can play in. And I think I agree with the first gentleman. Reddick, he blew it in the playoffs. He blew it in the playoffs. His inexperience showed in the playoffs. The mistakes that he was making showed, and it made players for Minnesota that averaged 10 points, 11 points in the regular season, they're up there you're scoring 30. And it was either stop Anthony Ant-Man or let him score. But you can't do both, and they did neither one. So our defense is not where it's supposed to be. Our bench, we don't have a bench, don't have shooters. And then the only assets are, no one is willing to give that up unless you're giving draft picks and all these other things that they'll take in the trade. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
So it seems like to me that the Lakers got to start all over with the fat, out of shape superstar.
I'm not going I've had this argument. It's too many times for that narrative for someone who last year led the league in minutes to be like, how out of shape are you if you led the league in minutes last year? If you're a 5-time All NBA first team, right, and this year you're not on it because you're not eligible, right, because you missed games, but over the last 5 seasons, you're All NBA first team, and now you're out of shape, right? That narrative is that, and then AD, right? He had a narrative, street clothes, all of these things, injury prone. You gain 6 years by getting rid of AD and getting Luka, and it's a system switch because the system was built around LeBron and AD. And now you have to switch the system and start just like how Dallas started when they started from zero. But then they realized this is what makes Luka a better player. He needs bigs. He operates in a system like that. When he didn't play, when JJ didn't play Hayes in the last game, I knew it was over. Gobert scored almost 30 points. And I'm sitting there
I don't even know why he didn't play. I didn't understand. First of all, I didn't know why he only played 4 minutes in the first half and then played the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, goddamn, just throw him out there.
Yeah,
He's got 5 fouls to give at least. Shit.
Yes, yes. So
I mean, you're starting him for a reason.
Yep.
So I think what happened is he popped off to those motherfuckers, and something happened now, and they say, you know what, we're going to get you. But the prime example was LeBron said in that press conference for the game when they asked him about, hey, when AD went out, when AD got traded, you had to play more. He goes, no comment, because last time someone made a comment, they got traded the next day. So there's something in the writing right there.
All right. Let's see what Brother Chris got to say. I know you got something to say, Chris.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm angry. And ain't nothing gonna be nice. First of all, JJ Redick got that job because of the shit he said. And excuse my language if anybody a little offended. I'm a little rough around the edges sometimes, but I'll get it together.
I'm offended.
Enough said, OG. Enough said. All right. So I feel like Redick got that job because of
LeBron.
What he did on First Take and what he does on his, Redick, yeah. Because of what he did on First Take and what he says on his podcast. He doesn't have any experience, but my opinion is he's 4 years removed from being a player. He's not ready to be a coach. And that stubborn, arrogant decision that he made to say before a game that I'm not going to play somebody when you don't know if you're going to have to play somebody based on circumstance, right?
Exactly.
So you made this. Now, what does a shooter do when he missed? he keeps shooting. So in my opinion, JJ Redick still got a player's mentality. And you can't coach with a player's mentality. You got to have a coach's mentality. So he's far away from being whatever it is he think he is. He's so far away from that, it's crazy, because I don't think we all realize how much we're players when we stop playing. It takes us a long time to get out of a player's mode. When you make a guy who's probably, if you got 500 NBA players and this dude is probably 495 in offensive threat, and he has an all-star game in an elimination game, and you sit on that sideline and you won't put a big man in to match his size, whether Jackson Hayes is a good guy or not, then let's not rely on offense to win. Let's rely on defense. So because he's a shooter, defense wasn't even a factor. I'm not playing this guy. I'm going to let this 7-1 guy who has very limited offensive skills dominate us down here half after half after half, and you don't make it a change, you're not ready to be a coach. I don't care how good you are in the regular season, because if you get to the big dance and act the fool, there's no reason to even talk about how good you did as a coach in the season. Because you coach to get here, then you get here and you do some crazy stuff, like watch a nobody dominate my team. You got 6'7" and 6'8" guys sitting up there trying to block out a 7-1 guy. This dude was getting offensive rebounds over these guys without getting over the back calls because he's that much taller. So
he wasn't jumping. Wasn't jumping.
He don't got to. Hey, did y'all hear what McDaniel said? McDaniel said, when they didn't play Jackson Hayes, I am now the tallest guy on the field, on the court. That's what the opponent said. So as a coach, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to watch this because I'm too stubborn. You know, that's why I got mad at the guy that asked the question at the press conference. You're offended that he asked the question, and let me tell you why he asked that question. Because there is no way in hell that 8 coaches on that bench agree with you. And if it is, then all 9 of y'all need to be let go. Y'all need to get the hell up out of here. Because none of y'all can tell me if y'all was an assistant that y'all agree with that.
Exactly.
What are you thinking?
I totally agree with that.
What are you thinking? And then the guy says, well, no coach has ever done this. You played a 40-year-old man the whole second half. You played the out-of-shape European the whole second half. And then after you did that, you came back the next game. I'm not playing this dude. Well, what about Jeremy? What about the Lynn guy you got? I'm not going to play him. What about the big guy that you got from the G League? You got 3 7-footers on that bench. You should have did what we did in 20. In 20, Jokic was the best player in the league. We threw Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis at him, and his ass was wore out by halftime. So what are we doing even hiring this guy?
Would that be
The
LeBron?
Lakers.
LeBron hired him. Chris, LeBron. That's a LeBron move.
LeBron hired him.
But guess what? Kobe brought in Pelinka. We had Magic Johnson in that spot. You bring in fucking Pelinka, you make Magic leave? Come on, bro. You got the big dude in Charlotte, and you pull that shit, excuse my language, you pull that bull, and you pull back on that trade. That kid played the whole rest of the season, no injuries. So what are we talking about here? I'm completely, I don't even know, I don't think they made up the word to describe how I feel about Jenny Buss, Rob Pelinka, JJ Redick, and anybody else that makes any decisions in that Laker camp. I'm confused. I am completely, I thought I knew basketball a little bit. I don't think I know any basketball now.
Well, I think right there, though, you said the wrong thing. They ain't making a decision. It's LeBron making a decision. That's why Bronny's on the team. Let's go there on that one, too.
Which is
Absolutely right.
I mean,
I'm still mad about that.
when JJ got hired by the Lakers, the day before, him and Bron were on his podcast drinking wine, boo, 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 boo. It was a done deal. So LeBron is making all the decisions. That's what's going on. And that's the most frustrating part.
We'll put him in the front office where he don't belong.
He is ready. He is in the front office. I swear, man, they put a statue of that SOB. Oh my God. But anyway, that's a different story.
Like I said, man, I'm a little angry about it. I don't think Minnesota is. I don't think Minnesota's that good. I'm sorry, I just don't. All these young
But they're
teams got
better
to
than the
know how
Lakers.
to. Maybe so, but
Shit,
sometimes
man.
you can't tell me that sometimes you win on experience. I don't
Absolutely.
think Golden State is that much better than Houston, but they're
Correct.
way more experienced,
Mm-hmm.
and it's showing. So there's a lot of ways to win games. You don't always got to be better. But what I'm saying about OKC, Houston, Minnesota, Cleveland, they got to know how to put it together in the playoffs, game after game after game after game. Right. So I can't cement these kids, the champions, because I need to see them put it together against quality competition, game after game, because we know that's how we win playoff games.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we win playoff series. So they got to prove it, just like everybody else. They got to prove it.
And I'm going back to the Lakers here. As a coach myself, I'm in game 4 or whatever, the Sunday game. I'm playing every single person because I'm trying to find a solution to win this game.
Thank you.
You know what? As much I don't like excuse my language, the boy, I'm pouring Ronnie in there. I'm putting everybody because I got to win this game. I have to win.
You.
And for him not to play none of them tall bums at all, was the most frustrating part of this series.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it to you like this. My man said, we're playing these guys because we're just not scoring enough points, right? A player's mentality. Well, we're going to put 5 people on the court that can just score. That's a player's mentality. It's not a coach's mentality, because the coach will stress defense, right? So you telling me that Finney Smith Jr. and his 9 points helped us that much? You telling me Jackson Hayes couldn't have caught 4 lobs in the game? You telling me Hayes couldn't have got an offensive rebound? I mean, Gobert got 9 of them. I'm just saying, you gotta let players play, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let players play.
Maybe Gobert wouldn't have had 20+ rebounds.
He wouldn't have.
He
wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
You know he wouldn't have. Listen, we've seen Gobert play for years.
Yeah.
When you put another big man there, whether good or bad, a body is a body. He's not getting 20 rebounds. He's not getting 27 points. There's no way he's that good. He's playing college kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? From a size perspective. 6'8", our biggest guy, 6'8", going against 7'1", everybody's gonna lose.
Yeah.
You gotta put them in.
And they're getting to the rim on us. They're getting paint touches left and right. No rim protector. At all.
Now we all know in the NBA
had to run coast to coast. LeBron had to shoot the ball, run back, and pin somebody's shot because we had no rim protector.
There you go. There you go. So I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of JJ Redick. I just think that that's some of the most craziest stuff I've ever seen a coach do in my life. And to be so stubborn to watch it and do nothing. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about it. That blew me away. That blew me away. That blew me away, man. And then he comes on and talk about this man's weight. All these talk show hosts are talking about Luka. Wait a minute. Y'all really good friends with this dude, so y'all not going to criticize this coach? If you notice and watch ESPN, nobody's criticizing the coach but Charles Barkley.
Big Perk got him today.
I find it hard to blame the players for this loss. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I would like to, but I find it hard, man, because I've never seen nothing like that before. I've never seen it.
Chris, let me ask you a question. As a Laker fan, don't you think we all were a little more hopeful that we would see the best version of the Lakers, the version that we saw, and I was at the game when they came in Oklahoma City and put a knot on our head, that version of Oklahoma City where they shoot 52% from 3, that can't happen. And that's not happening in the playoffs. You're not shooting like that. And in that game, Luka got off. LeBron traditionally just kills Oklahoma City because he plays with force and power. And Rui had a good game. Rui scored over 20. But the key to that game, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith went 8 for 9 from 3. That's the ball game right there. And they, and so we were all hoping that version, the version where they went and played another good team and played them. When they went up to Boston, they lost. They won 4, 5, 6 games in a row. They were shooting well. Luka was doing his thing. LeBron was doing his thing. Jackson Hayes was rim running, getting tip dunks and slams.
Yeah.
It was all going beautiful. And
What happened?
they were playing, once shots starts falling, as all of you basketball players know, your defense gets better. And you got to play really less defense because you're making shots. So when the shots stop falling in the playoffs, and it's going to stop falling in the playoffs and it gets tightened up, the Lakers, we're not athletic on the wing. We got the big three, LeBron, Luka, and AR-15. He ain't playing no defense neither. But see, the thing about AR-15, he's competing. He's trying. Luka's not even trying. And then LeBron can't keep anybody in front of him anymore, and he rests on defense. And I don't blame him. He's a good backside defender and a good help defender. But LeBron doesn't keep his man in front of him. He got to rest somewhere. I'm giving him a pass. He at least makes an attempt. But I think we all got a little bit too caught up in how good the Lakers were playing, but they weren't beating. The only contender they beat during that time was Oklahoma City. During that little 5 or 6 game stretch. They came back. Go ahead.
No. I just want to respond to what you're saying real quick. So I'm on that high with until that trade for that center field, because I knew it wasn't done. When we got Luka, we couldn't. I was telling my XOG, we can't be done.
Yeah, I agree.
The trade comes with Charlotte. I'm like, okay, this guy is a rim protector, and all he does is catch lobs. He won't do nothing. Now, I believe that when we got AD, as much as I love AD, I was shocked by this trade. But AD's 31 years old with a lot of tread, so I got it, right? When Luka came, I'm going, wow, this ball just moves. Because we know the ball moves, it goes down to AD, it don't move as much no more. So I got that. I'm like, the ball moves. The ball moves. Now they're dribble driving. Then when the trade fell through with the guy and we signed Lynn,
who was garbage.
I was blown away, bro. I was blown away because I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, you kept Dalton Connect. I really wish we kept Max Christie. I thought just like Ingram, we wait till these guys turn the corner and then we get rid of them.
Yep.
We get rid of them. So, and I'm watching Brando kill. I'm watching Zubac kill. I'm looking at all these guys and I'm like, dude, we would have been great right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But back to you, I agree with you 100%. And before LeBron got hurt, when he missed those games, we were playing extraordinarily good at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm loving all of it. Yeah. And then we get into these playoffs, and I'm thinking, okay, we're moving, we're good, the blood is flowing and everything, and then they come and lay an egg. And I'm just sitting here like, what are we doing? What happened to us?
JJ ready?
And here's the other thing. As a coach, we're not going to change what we've been doing. We're not going to change our rotation. We're going to keep playing how Laker basketball. Whatever got us here, we're going to keep going. JJ changed the whole staff. They changed the whole rotation in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Again, lack of experience. The lack of experience. But you got some experienced coaches on that bench, which leads me to say JJ ain't listen to shit.
He ain't.
He's doing JJ.
I agree 100%,
it's
big
the
dog.
JJ LeBron show.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Because again, like I said earlier, as a coach myself, it's life or death. We are doing everything and anything we can to win this game.
Absolutely.
And we're going 10 deep. Coloco, we're playing you too. Get your uniform on. You're playing tonight.
And guess what? Coloco is good. Koloko is good.
Yeah, because he was on the two-way, he wasn't eligible for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
And all they had to do was
Mhm.
let Lynn go and keep him for the playoffs.
Which I don't know why they had him, but that's a whole
That
different.
part.
I
That
mean,
part.
why do you bring a kid?
White
Why do you
boy.
bring a kid don't play?
White boy.
Play. You bring a
They
kid
got
don't
enough.
play.
They got connected and Reeves. They got enough. It like with the other big man, right? When we got Luka, it was what the week. How long before the deadline did we get Luka?
We got Luka maybe a week after the All-Star break. Maybe maybe 2 weeks
before
after
we got him
All-Star
before the break. So like, but when was the deadline for trade? Because
We had
like
time. We had a window.
we really didn't
No,
think I didn't think we were gonna get a center at all. And then like everybody was happy when the Charlotte trade came, but then when it fell through, I knew like I said we could go as far as LeBron and Luka can take us, but I'm like in the playoffs it's going to change, and I agree with the man. I said JJ Redick changed everything he did that got the Lakers to the third spot in the playoffs for some unknown reason, and
I agree.
and as like you said, it's ego. It was, but that's the JJ Redick you saw on ESPN. That's the Duke JJ Redick. That's the same person that we knew. Like it. I don't. If we still would have had AD, would we have been the third seed? That's the question I asked. If AD was still there, would the Lakers have made it to the third seed?
No, because AD got hurt.
Well, he might not have got hurt if he'd have stayed with the Lakers.
Yeah, AD would have stayed with the Lakers. What spot would the Lakers be?
Wait, let's remember. He was hurt when we traded.
Yeah.
He came back for one game and got hurt again.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
I
don't think the trade was bad, man. You just didn't. Listen, Rob Pelinka is Kobe's man. That's why he's there. And I can't not believe that if Magic was still in that position, we would have had what we need. I just believe that. Look how long it took Rob Pelinka to make
bus too.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because why would you hire two people for the same role?
Yeah.
You know, Chris and Kyle and Tito, the moment that I really started to really doubt JJ Redick is when they asked him to assess Bronny and his progress as a Laker and his future. He said, I give him an A+ for what he's done this year. And I said to myself,
you said the same thing about all of them. They all said the same thing.
That's insanity, man. That is just pure. How could he have an A+? He's not what we need.
Well, that's what I asked.
He's
Ronnie.
a heck of a lot better player than I thought he was coming in, but he still ain't NBA level.
That's
what
what
help us.
A+ gets you Rookie of the Year, and I think that went to Castle. A+ gets you Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Good point. Good point.
A+ gets you Rookie of the Year.
Let me just say one small thing on Bronny's behalf. That kid had a heart situation where he probably died and came back. I don't know how to judge a heart issue. So I was open to giving him 3 years. He had 1 year of college, 1 year NBA, and then next year. And then I would be harsh with him.
Chris, in his senior year, he averaged 13.8 in high school and made it to the McDonald's All-American game. How can that be?
But listen,
how can that friggin' be?
This is what I'm gonna.
That's craziness.
I got you. No, we're not questioning that. We're not questioning that. But what I'm saying about the kid, right?
He's a great kid.
What I'm saying is that you're basically letting babies in the league these days, right? When we were young, cats came into the league ready to play. They were juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
Now you got kids coming in. You gotta give them 4 years to develop. These kids don't play.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't play till 3 years later, just by the nature of it. So that's why I'm not that. And then he had a heart issue. It's hard for me to be that hard on him. because I don't know what that I know what a broken ankle feels like. I can gather what a torn ACL. I don't know what it's like to have a heart issue, come back playing in a pretty competitive Pac-12 division, and then go to the league and compete in the G League, because what he did in the G League, he did do. So he's showing you that he can play. I don't doubt the kid can play. We just don't know how effective he's going to be. But there's no doubt the kid can play. But these all babies coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we really judged them like we judged our superstars, our heroes, all these kids would be bust. But in today's NBA, it takes 3 or 4 years for them to get on the court. That's just the way it is. I mean, unless somebody tell me I'm wrong, but I'm looking at kids get on the court, get drafted in the first 15 picks, and I don't see them.
Trae Young came in. Luka came in
out of Oklahoma.
Those are first round draft.
1 year. I mean, but he did. Did he do 1 year?
Who?
Trae Young. Trae Young did 1 year.
I don't think when he came in, I think that rule.
Yes.
Yeah, he did 1 year. Luka came in at 18, 19.
And was balling right away.
Wemby came in. There are players who come. Ant-Man came in.
Lottery picks. We're talking about
Ant-Man
lottery
came
picks.
in at about 18, 19 a game. So there are players who come in.
Oh, okay, let's take those guys you said. All those are top 3 picks. We're not talking about a top 3 pick.
Okay.
What are we talking about? We're talking about a second round play.
Yeah.
We're talking about a second round play.
And the only second round in the NBA with a guaranteed contract.
No, hey, I'm not going against you. I'm just on my team, man. When I see the kid from Buffalo die on the court, he took him 3 years to come back, and then 4 years to actually get on the field and play. So I'm just looking at the hard thing. I don't know. I don't want to be that harsh on the kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to assess that. You know, I don't know what he should be. You know, and I know he's on the team because of his father. I'm not doubting that. I would do the same for my boy if I could. Shit, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody would.
But I do think it's time to move on. The whole LeBron thing, like the Lakers sold, and we had 17 titles without selling. We had 16 titles without selling our soul. Mm-hmm. We sold our soul when we got LeBron. That's not the Laker way. It's to take a guy and just build everything around that guy. We've always had a team, and we've always built players up from rookies. That's the Laker way. It's time for LeBron to. I'm about done with this.
Well, you talked about.
I want to get back to what we did to create a dynasty.
Chris, you talked about fixing the Lakers. The best thing they could probably do is trade LeBron. You get a boatload of good players for him.
Well, there's only 2 players in the league.
Oh, he's agreed to a trade.
He no trade clause.
No trade clause.
You think LeBron gonna get traded and leave Ronnie there by himself?
Well, because Bronny be cut. He cut.
You trade LeBron and Ronnie. Like
he's not trading the one. He's out the league.
He got a guaranteed contract? Yes. Yeah. So he guaranteed at least 3 years with the Lakers.
Let me tell you, they will pay him and tell him to get on down the street. if LeBron leaves. And you guys think about this guy. Anywhere LeBron goes, it's a package. Mm-hmm. You gonna tell him, you gonna take my boy, my 6'1.5" boy who can't play the point, by the way. He's 6'1.5", can't play the point, can't shoot, can't stay in front of today's point guard. What is his position? What can he do in the NBA? What can he do at 6'1.5" and can't play?
I don't know, man. We throwing Gabe Vincent in there as a 2 guard.
I mean, good point.
And we want to talk about Luka. When has Luka ever been a defensive player?
And he never will be.
Somebody remind me.
He never will be.
But when has he ever? Everybody's jumping on this narrative now about his defense. Yeah. When has he ever played any defense?
Never.
Well, do you guys agree with this? That Nico Harrison, who took all of that slack, the general manager for Dallas, and by the way, Nico Harrison didn't make that decision alone. Mm-hmm. the white man who owns the Dallas, the brand new owner, made that decision because he didn't want to give this fat crap boy $60 million a year. Number two, Jason Kidd had to sign off on that decision. Jason Kidd is one of the great players ever, and he knows about playing the point. He had to sign off on that. But general manager Nico Harrison, the ex-Nike executive, he took all the flack. He looks pretty good right now when he said defense wins championships. If you'd asked any of us, we would have told him, I agree with you. Defense wins championships. Luka and the style of ball he plays, unless you get the right people around him, two rim running bigs like Dallas had in Lively and Gafford, and a Hall of Fame point guard next to him. That's why they got to the finals. Because he disappeared in the finals because Jaylen Brown was in his shorts. That's how Jaylen Brown got the MVP.
MVP, yeah.
The way he was checking Luka. I mean, he said, I want him one-on-one. I don't need no help. Luka still averaged 28, but he don't do that against anybody.
Yeah.
Great offensive player. When he got the ball in his hands, he's a wizard. But,
yeah.
And of course he played no D. They had their way with him on D. Every team in the league hunts him. Every team in the league goes right at him. So you better have some big. Not only do you need a rim protector in your 5-man, you better have a big 4-man down there too, because it's just he plays like a traffic cop on defense.
But Dallas knew that though. That's why
they had that. Yeah.
Like what Pelinka should have got was either Lively or Gafford as well. You gonna give up AD? Yes. We need a big. We're giving you 2 and draft picks. Give us, and they were injured. Give us one because they gave us the other guy who was injured, and I'm sitting there like, give us one of the bigs, because I think that would have changed the whole season if the Lakers would have got one of those bigs that Dallas had that they knew. Because they knew what to do. They knew Luka. I know the league knows Luka doesn't play defense, and I think the world is just finding out. We know the players knew. Mm-hmm. We know from watching basketball. Now the world is like, oh, he's so exposed because you see him every day because he's playing with the Lakers. So it's the exposure. But Dallas knew he's not playing no defense. We need to get 2 bigs that can catch his lobs when he goes in the basket, and also to when he gets blown by, guard that rim. And we didn't get any of that. We gave up our big, and the other big we had. I mean, I seen so many. There were so many games where Hayes could have averaged 20 points a game, and he's missing layups and stuff like that. And it's like. But and I'm not saying, but he still wasn't bad enough to not be played in the playoffs.
Just because of the size alone.
Just size alone. Like, so I agree. I agree. I put it on JJ as well. You can't go in with everyone, a consensus of everyone, all talking heads, everybody said Lakers got this. To like the last, I think 3 seasons, the Lakers were a play-in team.
Yeah.
So this is the one time we're not a play-in team. You get a week off and you create a game plan for this team
man.
you're about to play. Like
that's right.
So you had a whole week.
No doubt.
So that part that's very frustrating. And that's very frustrating. That part is,
and let's not lie about this. AR and Hachimura had a hell of a game that last.
Hachimura particularly.
Yes, yeah, Rui.
Hachimura particularly. So you telling me that you couldn't have put? So basically, and you know, I know what brother man said earlier, but Edwards had a bad game that last. That was the opportunity to steal that game.
Yeah.
But you let us lose because of Rudy Gobert. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Hachimura had the game of his life.
Yes.
AR played good. Luka played pretty good, even with the back injury. All we needed was to stop the 7-foot giant. And I still think we would have a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Had he put in that big man. Now, mind you, you guys got to remember this. This is why I said I don't think Minnesota's that good, and it's not from a talent perspective. It's about what I said about knowing how to put it together. Them guys had a 16-point lead at half. They came out of that game after dominating with Rudy and shot 8 threes. Their next possession was 8 threes. That's how we got back in the game. When those guys got tired, he didn't put that big man in. And Rudy, if you remember, the last 5 minutes of the game, Rudy went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We had the game. It's just like the game before. We up 2. It's 50 seconds left. He throws Luka. For some reason, Luka can't drive by this center and take it to the rack. He throws it to LeBron with 5 minutes left, 39 feet from the 3-point line, and LeBron does what LeBron does when he's tired. He launches an ill-advised 3-point shot. Because my thing is, like I tell everybody, you can mess up 3.5 quarters on me. That last 5 minutes, you got to be flawless. We know NBA players cruise control through the game. Then they get to that last 4 or 5 minutes, and it's about who's more efficient. People win basketball games because of efficiency. Everybody in the NBA is talented.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's about efficiency. We up 2. You shoot that BS 3-point shot from way out there when you could have drove by your man, because we got 2 of the best penetrators in the league on our team. You shot that ill-advised 3-point shot. They came down. You fouled them. They went to the free throw line. They scored 2, tied the game. We came back down, shot another crappy 3. For some reason, Finney Smith Jr. in the right corner shoots a crappy 3. Why he's shooting 3s in crunch time, I have no idea.
He's tired
But he's
too.
shooting.
He played the whole second half.
They're tired, all of them.
He played the whole second half.
But when we get down to the end of the game, that's not who I want shooting 3s, regardless if he's fresh.
You put in Gabe Vincent. You put Vincent in. You put a shooter in. They played the whole second half. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. They played the whole second half of that last game with no shooter. Rui can hit a 3, but there's a reason they're leaving him open like Westbrook. We gonna leave you open, and if you hit it, God bless. If you don't, we're doubling off of you. That's why Rui had hella games, because they're like, who are we gonna leave? If we gotta double someone, we gotta leave someone open. Let Rui be in the corner. If he hits the 3, he hits it. But you're playing these dudes the whole second half, and it's like it's 24 minutes. No, that was a 2-hour game. That second half, it was that long. And I'm sitting there like, you see they gassed. And that's why they fouling, reaching, like, because like, I need a break. I need a break. And he's sitting there with his ego out, like they gonna do it my way, like he's earned, he's Larry Brown or he's Pat Wright, like he's earned some type of Coach of the Year award. When if you look at the Lakers' record, they only won 3 more games than they did last year. They won 48 last year, 51 this year. No. So no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hey, how about getting the 3-point play the old-fashioned?
Take it to the rack. They're too tired.
Take it to the rack, man. You LeBron James. You Luka. Take it to the rack. So mind you, we're up to the next 3 possessions. We shoot 3s. Next thing you know, it's 23 seconds left. They up 4. It's over.
Again, Chris,
we lose 116 to lose 113.
That's coaching, Chris.
That's coaching.
Yeah.
That's coaching. So I like I said, I would love to blame the players. And there is some blame to go around, but at the end of the day, you traded for that man out of shape. I don't want to hear nothing about him being out of shape at the end of the season. You traded him like
he gave you 30 points a game.
Yeah.
He gave you 30
out
points.
Of shape.
Hey, almost a triple-double.
Out of shape. Like, and going back to game 1, if you look at it, he only had like 1 assist. So I don't know what was happening in that first game. Because you had 1 assist in the first game, and I'm like, that's not even Luka's game. He's used to at least being at 7, 8 assists. He gives you that.
Minimum.
So it's that whole the first game I knew when they came out, Lakers took the lead going into the first quarter, leaving the first quarter. Luka had, I think, 15, 16 or something like that. And then the game really starts. LeBron's not playing because of he game ones, he always tries to fill out the other team, right? And see who's balling, who's not. But they were hitting wide open threes that whole first game. And you come back and you change your defense and all of this in the second game. And then in the third game, you change it again. I'm like, what is he doing? What, like, who is saying, like, I agree with, like, on the bench, you have coaches on the bench that are, and I'm like, I don't know if they're like, we won't be here if we say, hey, what are you doing? But then it's like,
JJ ain't listening, Kyle. You know that JJ ain't listening to nobody. He think he know basketball better than anybody in the world. He's arrogant.
I'm gonna tell you something else he did. We had that. So okay, so you trade Dalton Connect. He comes back. He's balling, actually.
Sure is.
All of a sudden, he's not in the rotation no more. Why that kid? Why is that kid not playing in the playoffs? Why is he not playing?
Chris, you really want to know the answer to that question? His defense is almost as atrocious as Luka's. He can't cover.
All of them are.
He can't cover nothing. Nothing.
So how about this? So the 5 we got can't play no defense. So we're not gonna play the 5 on the bench because they don't play no
defense. That's a good point.
I tell you what the boy could do. The boy can't score. He can't.
I guarantee you. I put it to you like this. I guarantee you, if Darvin Ham was still the coach, we'd still be playing basketball. The series would still be going on. I don't know that we could beat Minnesota, but the series will still be going on because I don't think there's a coach in the league that wouldn't have put that big boy on the floor when Rudy started going off in the second half.
How could you call yourself a good coach if you can't get the team to rally behind your game plan?
You got to adjust.
That's the first thing.
You got to put the right people in there. You cannot have
as a coach,
sitting on the bench.
So we got a coach on here. As a coach, when we're in training camp, we're buying in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buying in starts way before the game starts.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can't get these guys to buy in. So you just say, fuck it, I'm not playing y'all. Because to me, you told the whole world that you don't trust.
Yeah, exactly.
He dissed his players.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's really hard.
With that. But he's a rookie. He did hold him accountable and get him there.
He should have been in there. He should have been in there. Listen, everybody should have got at least 5 minutes to show what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
Sorry, at least 5 to see what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So,
never know when the guys come off the bench hot. Yeah, you're right.
And I was looking at JJ Redick's stats. I mean, he's only a 15-point per game person his damn self. He only had 2 seasons where he was more than 16 points. And that was about 3 years before with 76ers, I believe. And with another one, it was 24.
Because he couldn't play D either.
He couldn't play D either.
Yeah. I don't remember no defensive JJ Redick shut down.
Like nothing from him on the defense.
He was in the corner, get ready to
waiting
shoot.
on the rock.
Yeah, you the one we leaving open. Especially on the Clipper team.
I'm gonna tell you what else. I don't recall no beautiful playoff moments from him either.
Nah.
There weren't.
I remember during the season he would hit some shots. I don't remember no playoff games where he just was on. So, I don't want to get into a man's basketball career because he did make it to the league. But at the end of the day, man, you asking a lot.
That's Jeannie Buss.
You
Rob
asking a
Pelinka.
lot from people, bro.
And the general manager,
You
the
asking a
real
lot
general
from
manager,
people.
LeBron
You
James.
know, you shit. But hey, this is the beauty of it, man. We Laker fans, we stuck with it.
Yeah.
Look like we're gonna go through it for another year or two.
Okay, my
Yeah,
question.
we coming back. We
I have a
still,
question
it
for
ain't
Kyle
changing.
and Chris. As I said on the last show, I think my Thunder can get there, but I don't think they can beat Boston. I don't think Cleveland can beat Boston. I don't think anybody can beat Boston. But Boston is a little nicked up. They got issues with Brown's knee. They got issues with a hamstring with Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when Porzingis is going to be whole.
True.
Probably our most steady, reliable player on the Celtics is Derek White, who to me plays right at a level below an all-star. He's consistent. That white boy, Peyton Pritchard off the bench, deadly. They got two other good white boys, Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett, who is 7-1. They are just loaded. I just don't see Cleveland beating Boston. Do you guys see that?
So let me tell you what I think Cleveland's Superman is. Those two big boys down,
Oh, yeah.
and they play them. They
Mobley.
play them together.
And Spider
Yeah,
is a Boston killer. He's had great success against Boston.
And we don't even have to speak on him.
And they got
You know what I
home
mean?
court advantage.
Like,
And Darius Garland is a bad boy, too.
Yeah.
That's a
I
bad-
think he's hurt though. Is he still injured?
He's still injured, but
Oh.
they getting plenty of rest. He'll be ready.
Okay.
And the key is they got Hunter.
Yes.
Stole him from Atlanta.
Yes.
A six-eight wing that can hit the three.
Hey, we all know if Boston can win by 30 or lose by 30. I think they have the greatest disparity between wins and losses than anybody in NBA history. But them big boys play defense down.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring it to get them
So
this year.
Horford, and when Horford and those guys can't get those little putbacks in and all that, I'm telling you, I don't see that. You know, and I might be a little on Boston, but I know for a fact that if those threes ain't falling, it ain't no guarantee.
I agree.
Those threes got to be falling because they shoot them. They shoot them.
Well, I mean, if you start in like the guards for Boston, you know, and if you get to Brown and Tatum, that's gonna be like going up against Cleveland. That's gonna be hard. Like who are they gonna put on Mobley? Because are you playing Horford and Porzingis at the same time? Are you both smaller? Yeah, so someone Tatum's gonna have to be on somebody.
Yeah,
and
he's probably gonna guard Mobley.
Mm-hmm. And if Mobley doesn't do what he's supposed to do, Boston is gonna kill him because Tatum's gonna take it to him.
Mobley is gonna do what he's supposed to do though. Yeah. Mobley consistent, bro. Like he real consistent.
Mobley, he's the real deal.
Yeah, he's real.
But I'm gonna see in the playoffs. We're gonna see because I do remember watching them go toe to toe with Orlando last year in the playoffs, and I think Orlando took them to 7, and I think they went against Boston in the second round, and Boston. I don't even remember the games against Boston because I think Boston destroyed Cleveland last year.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened in the second round. So this time I think that they'll meet in the finals. But I think that Indiana Cleveland is going to be a good series. I really do. I mean, the offensively, and Indiana has the big men that move the same way Cleveland's big men move.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think Hunter's going to make a difference. I think he really is.
Isn't that kid?
Yes, I agree.
Rush kid in Hunter in your family some kind of way?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. And you told me about a kid that may be distantly related to you. I was wondering, was that Daniel Hunter?
You mean his name is
Hunter? They got
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but he looks like a family member, but I don't know.
All right, fellas. I gotta go take the little man to his appointment. So I just wanted to make sure
we need to wind this down. Guys, we're gonna be doing this every week. I loved having you guys here. Please come back.
I will.
Yes.
I
Please come
will.
back.
I
Love having
really
you guys
enjoyed
here, man.
this. I really enjoyed this. And I need.
Man,
Hey, look, this
You
was
needed
my
to vent.
therapy. This was my therapy, man. I needed
You needed
I
to
needed
vent
my
too.
Laker
'Cause
fandom.
it's
I was
not
like,
a lot of people I talk to that really
hey.
know about like how you really feel about the Lakers as a Laker fan. Like this is just. I've
y'all
been
see
in the
this right
haze
here?
for 3 days. I
This is how much I
was in
love
a
my
haze
Lakers.
going into Game 5 because I was like, he ain't pulling this one off. Not the way he coaching. And it was like I just felt it. I felt it. So
We need to call this the Lakers rant.
Right. Well,
Hey,
let me close this out by telling the guy that was here earlier with us, Tito, that used to work with Rashiki and myself. I told him early in the year that by the middle of next year, JJ Redick they'll be talking about removing him from the Lakers. And that was a prophecy of mine. But because I'm thinking that the Lakers hire coaches to fire him. I still don't know why we gave up on Darvin Ham so early, and he got us in the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Past the first round.
yes.
You know, I don't know why we just gave up on the brother so early and just booted him out of the door. But I think it was AD's comment that they didn't know what plays they were running. It's on the players to know what plays they're running.
Exactly.
You get on the damn floor, you're an NBA
And I
veteran,
think-
you're a top 75 player. How can you say that?
And I think that's why when AD said we needed a center, I think that's why they shipped him out too, because of what he did last year with Darvin Ham, and then he made these comments this year. And I think listen, Jenny Buss is non-confrontational, bro. Non-confrontation.
She
You know,
need to
you gotta
confront
wonder
LeBron.
why you.
I get it.
I mean, I know y'all getting at LeBron, but Jenny Buss makes the decisions, right? And and I knew something was wrong with her. Wait, I knew something was wrong with her when she hired both of these men for the same position. Something is seriously wrong with that. This is a woman who can't say no to somebody. Like she's not that kind of owner. And if you remember, she puts people in place to help her along the way. Magic was that guy, not Rob Pelinka. And you forced Rob Pelinka in there, and something's wrong. Something's wrong with that. As long as we all been watching basketball, we ain't never seen that before.
The day that Kobe died, I'd got rid of Rob Pelinka. I don't think he's that great at all. The Luka deal fell in his lap. Dallas called him. He that wasn't him.
Well, I think LeBron too. LeBron too. LeBron wanted to come to LA.
Fell in his lap.
He didn't do anything.
What is he?
LeBron to come to LA.
What is he really? What great player has he gotten us?
He hasn't.
Nobody.
Hey, listen, you guys got to remember something. When Magic left, we had a different team for 4 straight seasons. Let's not remember. Let's not forget this. LeBron, AD, and Hachimura, and 9 other people.
Yeah.
Then you keep the same 3 and 9 other people. We kept getting everybody on these 1-year contracts. And we kept changing the team every year. Listen,
well, suffice to
LeBron might have wanted to come to Los Angeles, but it could have been a Clipper uniform. It didn't have to be a Laker uniform.
True. That's true.
That's where I think Magic comes.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. All right, fellas, appreciate you guys coming on. Rashiki will let you know in due time when we do this again next week. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. Please come back.
Okay, gentlemen.
Hey,
have a good evening.
To meet you guys, bro. Nice to meet you guys.
All right.
Yeah, you met Ronnie before. He came on the platform. You had Chris once.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. You guys have a good one.
All right, OG. See you later, big man.
All right. Take care.